Hey gang, it's JC and this is your Daily Dose for Wednesday, April 21st, 2010. A cooperative venture with Mind Active doing web technology and innovation in beautiful downtown Brentwood. Want to see some of the old episodes? We've been on the air now for about a month. On the air, listen to me. On the internet for about the last month or so. You can go to the menu bar at the top of the page, click on JC's Daily Dose, and look at some of the old stuff. An early plug today for JC's Eye Candy. Rams have the first round pick tomorrow night in the NFL draft. There's a song that was just released today. We have it for you. You'll send it to everybody you know. Check out JC's Eye Candy today. Speaking of the NFL draft, one of the radio stations did a poll yesterday and they said, who do you want really to own your St. Louis Rams? Shad Khan, the guy up in central Illinois, or Stan Kroenke? And unbelievably, over 80% of the respondents said Shad Khan. And why do you think that is? Stan Kroenke, been around for over a decade now, and nobody knows him. Nobody, and people don't trust him. And now he's, pulling that power play and just showing the size of his cojones, and that's great and everything. But all I know is there's a lot of nervous people considering that Shad Khan is like, yeah, I would love to keep the team right here in St. Louis, and Stan Kroenke is on that advisory panel that is involved in bringing a team to Los Angeles, building a new stadium and all that sort of stuff. People don't trust Stan Kroenke. A guy whose name we had never even heard of a month ago wins with an 80% majority in a poll yesterday as to who should be the next owner of the St. Louis Rams. Mr. Kroenke has public relations problems. All right, a lot of people are going to be watching Idol Gives Back tonight, but last night, Crystal Bowersox, man, was there any question that she's going to win this whole thing? What a performance again last night. She breaks down at the end. And by the way, if you were watching the closing montage, because Crystal had the closing performance, and they say, okay, let's go back and look at what we saw here this evening, and then they show a clip from everybody's performance. And when they get to Crystal's, it's the end of her song, and she doesn't break down and cry like she did. You just saw it. You're like, wait a minute, I know what I just saw. Well, it's because they use the footage from the rehearsal that is shot right before they go live with American Idol. They do a run-through of the entire show, not for the TV audience, but they record it. And because it's physically impossible to edit in the last performance of the night into the montage, they just go back and they use the performance that she gave in the rehearsal, and that's why you saw what you saw. But how long has it been since you were watching American Idol and you said, not only is this person going to win, but I can't wait till their album comes out because I'm going to run out and get it. Crystal Bowersox, your next American Idol. What a talent this kid is. Unbelievable. Now, a lot of people won't be watching that tonight. A lot of people are going to be watching Channel 9 at 9 o'clock. This is the Oscar-nominated film from last year called Food, Inc. You want to have something shake you up. Everybody eats every day. And unless you are in the very, very small minority that is so careful about what you put into your mouth and into your stomach, you need to see this movie. This is a tremendous documentary. And again, it's called Food, Inc. You see it for free tonight on Channel 9 at 9 o'clock. It is highly recommended. Watch this movie tonight. All right, are there problems between the Obama administration and NASA? When I was a little boy, we used to get out of school sometimes to be able to watch the Mercury space program, shoot its guys into outer space, Alan Shepard, John Glenn, Gus Grissom, that sort of stuff. Now, of course, because everybody is experiencing cuts, I mean, what governmental agency, what business do you know that hasn't had to cut back? But NASA doesn't think they should be forced to cut back. Well, everybody's got to cut back. And then when you look at the scandal and the controversy and the waste and the fraud and the politics that we now know that exists inside NASA, and then on top of it, you get a couple of guys a couple of years ago that go up to outer space in a little two-seater and come back. You're like, hey, wait a minute. Just wait a minute here. So I'm on the side of the president here, even though I love Jim Lovell, and he was one of the greatest guests we ever had in the history of all the reincarnations of the radio show we've done here in St. Louis. I just think that as long as man can keep exploring, and nobody in the Obama administration is saying cut everything, you can't do anything, but NASA has to be like everybody else and take a cut. Now let's shift to hometown baseball and Mark McGwire. So I'm coming out of the men's room in the press box the other day, and it's something I'd never noticed before, even though it was always there, and that is the shot from the front page of the Post-Dispatch of McGwire coming around third after home run number 70 back in 1998. And as he's coming around third, what does he do? He looks up towards God and he points. Thank you, God. For the steroids? Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. The steroids didn't help him hit the home runs. My mistake. So now you have the St. Louis Cardinals with a wildly disproportionate number of home runs accounting for their scoring this year. And there's people saying, well, wait a minute. No team in the history of baseball has ever been able to hit home runs at this clip. What's going to happen to the Cardinals offense when they can't hit home runs like that anymore? And is Mark McGwire teaching these guys to swing for the fences? Now, truthfully and honestly and fairly, I don't know. But it's something to watch, and we will watch it throughout the course of the season right here on the Daily Dose. All right, let's talk a little bit about music. I don't mean to get all nostalgic on you or anything like that, but something's really changed here, and I think we've lost something. Because with music today and the way we listen, we have innovation and portability and mobility like we've never had before, instant access, and all those things are great with our iPods and our iPhones and all that sort of stuff. But something's been lost in the process, because not only probably the last 2 generations, really, certainly the one now, and even for us, we don't get this anymore. What am I talking about? The visceral pleasure that you would get out of going to a record store, back when it was called a record store, and you'd buy an album, and you would take the album home, and you would examine the artwork. You'd be looking at it in the car on the way home. And sometimes you'd have to look at it 2 or 3 times over the course of a couple of days and think to yourself, gosh, I wonder what they meant. Some of this is a little bit obtuse here. I don't know if it was very obvious. What was I supposed to see in this artwork? And you'd have the headphones on, sitting on your couch, holding the jacket, and then you'd open it up and you'd read the liner notes, and you would have this experience with the music that you just purchased. That is something that we have lost today. I don't think we can get it back, and I know there's a whole contingent out there that's trying to get people to go back to vinyl discs. Oh no, you can hear things on vinyl that you can't hear on a CD, and it's like, yeah, like pops and scratches and stuff like that. I'm not one of those guys, but it's just something to think about. You know, did I almost just say I'm just saying? Maybe this is a good place to stop. Never mind. All right, just a plug for Friday night FSN Midwest, right before the Cardinal game, half-hour special at 8 o'clock, examining the rivalry between the Cardinals and the Mets in the 1980s. The Mets are pond scum is going to be featured in this. They interviewed me for it, and that is Friday night. Make sure you get a chance to watch that. That's Max, the psycho dog behind me. Shut up, Max! Quiet. He's not going to shut up, by the way. He'll keep barking. What do we got? All right, so that's Friday night. JC's Eye Candy today. Rams, first-round draft picks. A disaster over the last, 40 years now? JoeSportsFan.com, a song you will love and yet you will send to everybody you know. Check it out on JC's Eye Candy today. That's it. We'll be back tomorrow. In the meantime, that's JC's Daily Dose for Wednesday, April 21st, 2010. He did shut up. How about that? Thanks, Max. Take a bow, Max. There you go. In the meantime, we beat this one to death. Have a good one. See you later. Bye.